Justin Gaethje versus Rafael Fiziev. Fight is possible as a main event December 11th, assuming the fight night card. It's a fantastic fight. I love this matchup. You have two action first styles of fighters, strikers. Gaethje with incredible power in the hands, amazing low kicks, but super hittable and definitely able to be knocked out against a dangerous Muay Thai style kickboxer in Rafael Fiziev. I love that they made this fight, or at least working on making it. I think it makes a ton of sense. Half of me wants to see Fiziev get the KO, and then we set that McGregor-Fiziev matchup up. Granted, I doubt McGregor's taking that fight. I think it's one of the most dangerous fights for him right now, and low risk, low reward. Regardless, let's talk this fight. How does it go down? I really feel like Fiziev wins the bout, guys. He's technically more proficient in the stand-up. Yes, Gaethje has that superb, explosive, and athletic style, really amazing low kicks. Trevor Whitman trained fighter, so he does have good technical skills. When you see inside punches, he gets cracked. I mean, Oliveira was having a ton of success landing straight shots on him. He hurt him bad in that fight. I look, and I think Fiziev, Muay Thai practitioner, kickboxer for many years, former coach over at Tiger Muay Thai. Actually, I believe he's still the coach at Tiger Muay Thai. Impressive kicks, impressive punches, has a chin. I think Gaethje's in trouble here. Is Gaethje going to look to wrestle? I highly doubt it. Even though he's got high-level wrestling skills collegiately, he never really brings them into the cage very often. And I don't think that's his style. That's his game plan. I don't even think that's a need to. In this fight here, I think he has to hurt Fiziev in the first two rounds. As the fight goes longer, I see more success for Fiziev. Granted, Gaethje could turn up a bit late. I kind of don't see this fight going distance either way. I think it does make it a bit long, but how long? I'm kind of thinking Fiziev finds that shot in the fourth round. Even though I'm not going to say Fiziev's gas tank is supreme against Dos Anjos, there was success for Rafael. Very different matchup. Dos Anjos is going to look to grapple him. He's going to be in his striking realm with Gaethje. I don't think we have to be overly concerned about the gas tank if this fight goes longer, because it's probably majority striking. With Fiziev can do that all day. He carries power late. Gaethje late does not find that same success. When he fights a guy like Fiziev, I think he is very vulnerable after the second round, rounds 3. Round 4, I actually think round 4 is the knockout where Fiziev stops him, but round 5 especially will be a vulnerability for Gaethje too. I really don't see this fight going distance. I think both guys are going to bring it. Maybe one of the best striking matchups of all time. I mean, you look at Gaethje's recent win over Michael Chandler, incredible fight. You look at Fiziev's recent win over Dos Anjos, sweet knockout of Brad Riddell. His most difficult fight came against Bobby Green. Green not a big power puncher, very technically proficient. Also with Bobby Green, he is hard to hit. I would say Bobby Green is a lot harder to hit than a Justin Gaethje. Yes, different stylistic matchup. Gaethje brings a lot more damage to his opponents. Bobby Green more slick. So I can see why Fiziev had a little bit of struggle in that fight. This one here, the target is there. Justin Gaethje's head is there to be hit by Fiziev. I think he catches him with a hook and knocks him out. Granted, it's not first round. I said fourth round. It's going to be a competitive fight for the first couple. I think Fiziev may invest in the body a bit. I think Gaethje's going to be looking to rip low kicks. Fiziev's high-level competence of striking, I do believe he's able to fend off the majority of those damaging calf kicks. I do think his leg's going to be okay in this one. I actually think he'll kick back at Justin Gaethje and do some damage to his legs. That Fiziev body kick is a factor. And really, Justin Gaethje is unwilling to wrestle. You have the wrestling chops, but you don't do it in the cage. To me, this would be the fight that you bring out the takedowns, but he's not going to do it. That's not Justin Gaethje. He's a striker. Yes, he was a wrestler. He is a striker in cage fighting, and he's an incredible one. I mean, he does a great job. He's got real knockout power. He's super explosive, kind of winging overhands, right? And when you have a real technical and proficient style of kickboxer like a Fiziev, he finds the money shots. I think he touches up Justin Gaethje's chin. I think he knocks him out. But as I said, I do believe body work is a factor. We're going Fiziev, fourth round knockout. What are the bookies going to be thinking? Lines, I feel like, for this fight? We'll have Gaethje at a slight favorite at open. I think a lot of money will be hammered down on Fiziev, so you'd want to probably jump on that bet early. I'm thinking Fiziev opens. If I'm going to guess right now, I'm going to say plus 140. Could be plus 150. Could be as low as plus 110. It might be near even money. I could see Gaethje opening up around that minus 150, minus 130 range, depending. And I think we have an incredible fight. I mean, if it's main event on free television, we're blessed. And there is legitimately a chance this could be one of the best fights of all time. I cannot wait for this matchup. I love that they made it happen. As I said, high stakes for both. You look at recent fights, Fiziev's on the rise up. Bobby Green, Brad Riddell, Dos Anjos, last three. And before that, it was Moicano, which that's a pretty good win, too. He beat Mark Jacasey, who's a solid fighter. You look on the other side with Justin Gaethje. Yes, he's taken losses. He's lost 2 of the last 3, but it's to Khabib. We forgive that. He beat Tony Ferguson. He ended the boogeyman, so that holds high regard for me with Justin Gaethje. Michael Chandler, incredible fight. He wins. He was hurt a bit in that fight, and that really gives me even more confidence in a Fiziev because Fiziev can deliver that shot like a Chandler, but he does it with more precision and maybe a bit less explosiveness. Later in the fight is where he finds the money shots, which I think the style to beat a Justin Gaethje striking is more of a Fiziev. You look at his loss to Dustin Poirier. He wore later in the fight. Granted, yes, he's improved since then. You look at his loss to Eddie Alvarez. He wore later on in the fight. If you hurt Gaethje early, he'll recover. But when you hurt him late, that's when it ends for him. And then the loss to Charles Oliveira. Rear naked choke. Oliveira is a different beast. He just destroyed Justin Gaethje when the time permitted because Gaethje hurts him. He's not going to jump and throw ground and pound on Charles Oliveira. Oliveira can fall to his back. That stylistic matchup is hell for Justin Gaethje probably 8 times out of 10 unless he flatlines him, which is incredibly hard to do with an Oliveira. Looking at the lightweight odds, I'm seeing the matchup now, and I'm like, okay, what would be the reasonable next fight for either one of them? With a win for Fiziev, he'll now beat the number 3 ranked Justin Gaethje. I think he'll need one more before a title, but I'm going to say this. I think it's Poirier, Chandler winner, fighting the winner of Gaethje and Fiziev. To me, that's the fight that makes the most sense. I know Benil Dariush, is always kind of in the mix, and Mateusz Gamrot, but I think they're a step back because different stylistic matchup. Maybe if Makhachev wins the belt, it could be a grappler versus grappler type main event. A Dariush or a Gamrot are incredible fights for him if Makhachev beats Oliveira, but shit, if Oliveira wins against Makhachev, we have some of the most entertaining and action-packed fights we have ever seen headed to the lightweight division at the championship level. So honestly, hoping for an Oliveira win. I'm expecting a Fiziev win, and I'll throw an early lean with Poirier Chandler. I'm thinking Dustin Poirier gets it done, and he's back in the mix. Granted, if Poirier does get the win, does Fiziev somehow jump the line if Oliveira beats Makhachev? Maybe possible because they don't want to risk him then losing to a Dustin Poirier. Granted, I'm not like super opposed to Oliveira Poirier 2 if Poirier earns his way back. I mean, if he gets 2 impressive wins against the best guys in the weight class, or at least not the absolute best, but like top 4, you got to give the man another shot because that was a good fight. And he did hurt Oliveira early. Granted, the grappling, a bit of a big major difference maker because you get Poirier's back and he turns into a white belt at times. Granted, these guys are the best in the world. I love these potential fights. I love the idea of strikers at the top of the lightweight division because we're going to have crazy fights. As far as Oliveira, I guess he's a grappler, you could say, but that man's a striker. He can grapple his ass off, but he's turned into an MMA striker. He's deadly. He's got the sniper straight shots. The UFC, man, right now, great point. Huge fights. This Gaethje Fiziev fight has me super excited. I don't want to wait all the way till December for it. I wish we could maybe see it at the end of October, maybe November. Throw it on the November 12th card and let's just have an absolute insane banger. It's going to be a good one. Great matchmaking. Shout out to the UFC for this one because it's going to be a blast. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the early prediction and reaction. As you can see, solid excitement here, and we're riding Fiziev early. Smash the likes. If you're new, subscribe. Share the video. Comment too. Drop a W in the chat to boost the algorithm. As always, let me know too what you think of the fight, who you think's going to get it done. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace, everybody.